to the Boardroom with Black Women's Wall Street Incorporated.
All right. You're back with the Boardroom with Black Women's Wall Street Incorporated.
Sinking.
I don't know why Festina wants to synchronize swim. She synchronized
you don't
swimming.
like it. I love it. You don't like it.
Somebody send up a prayer.
Disrupt
for
the
me,
noise.
please.
Disrupt the norm.
Okay. That's
Look, y'all, I'm not fooling with y'all. So here we go, y'all. I'm going to do some live shout outs real quick for those that are watching. So I have lovely Miss Nicole McHenry is watching. Shout out to you, ma'am. Hello. And Miss Vernil Dico. I hope I'm saying it right.
Yes, Vernil.
Hey, Miss Vernil. I hope I'm saying that right. My apologies if I didn't get that right. I got a hello, ladies, from a Miss Ebony Turner.
Hello,
all right,
Miss
I think
Ebony's running for judge.
Yeah, Ebony's running for judge. Come on.
Come on now. All right.
We got
and then
some powerhouse women.
Janet Thomas, y'all.
Hello, Janet.
All right, a Miss Shirley James Johnson.
Shirley.
That's my mama. Mama, you better be
Shirley.
working. I know you're still at work at the post office. Shout out to my mama.
Yeah.
Shirley.
All right, a Kiana Woodard.
Hello, Kiana.
Hello, you guys. Y'all. Thank y'all for watching and joining us tonight. We appreciate y'all so much for tuning in. Thank you all.
Welcome to the Boardroom with Black Women's Wall Street.
So we are still here with the lovely Yadira Noel Harrison. And Festina wants to still synchronize swim. We're going to cut that off at some point, y'all. I want y'all to know we're going to pray for it.
Not today, though.
Not today. Okay, so before we start digging into some of the meat and potatoes of business, answer me this question. So finish this sentence, Yadira. You may not know this about me, but how would you finish that sentence?
You may not know this about me, but you may not know this about me, but I'm a huge Harry Potter fan.
What? I love Harry Potter too.
Yes, like have the wands, have the movies, have a season pass to Universal, go by myself, get a butterbeer. Like
I haven't had the opportunity to go to Universal Studios, but I cannot wait.
You have to go.
I'm going to see Harry Potter, baby.
Yes.
I love it. I got all 8 of the movies, and we watch it every once in a while as a family because I'm a fanatic. I'm crazy, but I just love it. I love it. Absolutely love it.
They're all back on HBO Max if anyone's looking for
they
them.
are. They are on HBO Max. Y'all go check them out. Look, we shouting out Harry Potter.
Oh my goodness, that's funny. Okay, yeah. Let's transition back to the topic of the day because y'all lost me. Lost me completely. I'm like,
you know, we're right here. We got this. We know what we talking about.
Harry Potter some other time. Okay, we need to talk to you, Mr. Reader. This is a master class. Okay, I'm serious. Come on. Now we're about business here. Okay, so our topic today is about scope, scalability, and self-sufficiency. So connect the dots for us because you're teaching us here. So tell us what is that? What do you mean?
Yeah, for in the ad world, scope and scalability and self-sufficiency, like they all can mean totally different things. And so I'll tell you what I feel like it means for us and for Verb. The scope is really what you do. And getting to the heart of what you do. There's a lot of people who say they do everything. And there's a lot of ad agencies who say they do everything. We're very clear on what it is that we do. We do experiential. We do brand experiences. We do proprietary platforms, brand partnerships. Like, we're very clear. So to me, the scope is what is it that you do. When we're talking about scalability, it's like to the level that you do that. Some people want to be small. Yes. Some people want to be medium. Some people want to be large. And some people want to be mega, right? They want to be the next Oprah, Bezos, whatever. And so for us, it's like we struggle right now of like how big do we want to get, because we're right now in a growth spurt, as I like to call it. And as you grow, you try to figure that next part out, which is self-sufficiency. How much can you do? And at the end of the day, it's like you are responsible for the scale, you're responsible for the scope, but you're also responsible for the quality that you are giving to your consumer, your client, whoever it is. And so for me, it's like the thinking about the self-sufficiency of it all is, are you doing it by yourself? Are you doing it with your team or with partners? How are you bringing that together? But at the end of the day, you are responsible for it. So that's how I would start to connect those dots, just to...
Nice.
I love that. Okay, anybody out there taking notes, please send me your notes, okay? This is a masterclass. I'm serious. Oh, I love it, Yadira.
Oh, my goodness. I want to back it up just a little bit, Ms. Yadira. So whenever, in the brainstorming phase of Verb, when did you and your business partner decide that it would be Verb? Like, I'm really interested to know how that name came about. What was it about Verb? Like, that is a very interesting name
for a business.
Let me tell you. First of all, there's nothing that helps creativity more than constraint, and for us, it was time. We, for years, folks were asking us, like, okay, we're going to go out on your own. Even clients were asking, like, are you going to go out on your own? And we would always say, like, no, who's doing that anytime soon? I always assumed from starting an agency, it wouldn't be until way later. And, and it was just like, well, why wouldn't I? And so thinking about who we are and what people reacted to was about action, and it was about making things happen and making them happen fast. And so for us, it was just like, that's who we are. We are action-oriented people. So verb just made sense for us.
Action word.
Yeah.
Verb. Literally the definition.
Yeah. And the constraint was the time, right? We had to get started. We knew we wanted to have a business. We gave ourselves 100 days to get it together. And we had a week to get a name because we somebody found us and said, hey, there's an opportunity here, put something in front of us. And we were like, we had all these, grand gestures or these ideas of what are we going to do? What are we going to call ourselves? And we had all these names, and we were like, you know what? We got to do it, and we got to do it now. We're Verb. Here's the deck. Here's what we do. Here's all the things. So we had to move pretty fast.
That makes so much sense. I love it. That makes so much sense now. Just an action word. I'm like, okay, verb, like the action. Okay, we got it.
That put the pieces
it's
together.
Just cute. Just doing it.
Listen, Yadira, one of the things you talked about was experiential. What is an experiential business, and what are the core components of it?
Yeah, we have, I would say, 4 different components. The experiential, for the most part, most people would say it's events.
Okay.
But as you start to get into brand experiences and so you think about festivals, you think about conferences, you think about, activations, we would say, like if you go to South by Southwest, something like that, when you see a brand pop up. It's concerts. It's really anything that gives you some type of experience that you're walking away with. For the most part, we would say we are experiential, or output agnostic, meaning it's really just about what's the business challenge that the brand has, and how can we best solve it with the marketing solution, which is usually experientially based. So especially given this last year of 2020, we had background in digital and social and all those other different capabilities. So when everybody else was trying to figure out how they're going to go virtual, we knew this is going to be an easy pivot for us. And so that's really where the experiential piece comes from. When we break down our business, it's the proprietary. So what are we building? These are things, our festivals or conferences that we're building ourselves. Then it's the consulting piece of our business, where we are helping other brands stand up their experiential business. How do they want to show up in the world? It's concepting, so creative concepting. A brand says, hey, we have this show coming out. What could we do? Here are all the ideas of what you could do. And then the last is really on the we would say the agency part, the production agency part of it, of you like the idea, now we'll go produce it for you.
Oh, well, that's amazing. So your business strategy and the planning is really focused more on the experience of it all.
Yes.
Yeah, and maximizing that.
Yes.
I said, master class here, y'all are taking notes, I hope.
Right. So let's switch gears a little bit. So our show is focused on Black women, challenging and disrupting the norm in the business world. So Yadira, in your opinion, what is one thing or one way that we as Black women should disrupt the norm in business and in the boardroom?
I would say speak up. And I know that sounds really, easy, right? But speak up, because that is truly the only way that we are going to make major shifts. And it's hard. It's hard to sometimes say something if you're the only person at the table, or maybe you weren't even at the table, but you heard about something. But it helps us when we speak up. It also helps when we see who's around us and uplift each other and bring each other to the table and try to really figure out, how best can we work together to serve, our both of our goals, both of our purposes. And so with Black women, we love working with Black women. So many of our clients are Black women. There's also there's an unspoken language between us, so we just know what we're going through, especially if you're talking about in the corporate world, in executive entrepreneurship, when you're talking about things like capital and funding and that type of thing. There's nothing we love better than even just talking with other production agencies or Black women-owned agencies, when we can have that common language or work together? How do we all come together to do something? Or, hey, we can't do this, here's something for you. Again, I want to make sure that you're sitting at the table. So for me, that's the best way that I can see us all coming together and like making it a better experience for all of us.
So speak up, ladies.
Right.
Yes.
That's the
Speak
word.
up. Unapologetically so.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So explain to us what Verb offers to its clients and why prospective clients would seek you out for your services.
Yeah, if you want, we said you want a regular event. You want a you want a 10 by 10, or you want a conference that is just kind of the same old. Call somebody else. You want an experience. You want someone to truly be immersed in your brand and understand what your brand is about, and to think about the nuances of how that works for that particular core audience. There is no more 18 to 54, everybody, male and female. That doesn't work anymore. That's not the world we live in.
Yeah.
So for us, it's really like, what are those niche groups that we need to really talk to, and how do we get your brand to talk to them, those folks really specifically, and ensure that they feel immersed, they feel seen. And so for us, that's really where we're coming from, and that's what makes us, I feel, so different.
That's awesome. Okay, so when we're talking about business, it's all about revenue, cash flow, return on investment. So what are some of the things that you want people to bear in mind and just not do that could possibly nix their business strategy, their planning, their marketing and branding?
Let me tell you what I want people to not do. I want people to stop going into business and thinking about taxes and accountants and, entities and all that stuff later. Think about that first. So much people want to get to like the fun of your business, and we saw this with the PPP loans. There were so many businesses out there, especially Black women-owned businesses, who couldn't get funding because they weren't set up, and they didn't have some of those. And here's the thing. The PPP loan to me showed so much of, we have wonderful accountants, we have a wonderful attorney, we have all these wonderful resources, and we realized that not everybody had that. Not even folks who we were peers to had this. And so we were able to say, like, here's what we're learning from our accountants, let me come and tell that to you. And why that's so important is because that is truly how you want to understand and manage your cash flow. You want to ensure that you have money for marketing. You want to ensure that you can, hire or not hire before you're ready to. Have all that stuff together. If you are a partnership or you are an S Corp or whatever that is, get all of that stuff and that paperwork together, because that's the stuff that sinks companies. And that's the stuff that doesn't set you up when it is time to go apply for a grant, a loan, something else. You don't have all these things on paper. So I want people to stop thinking about all the fun part first and all the that is all going to be there. You have to be equally as diligent about the operations part of the business operations part of your business.
Love that.
And I'm glad you said that. It does, and that's exactly where I was going. It speaks to our Idea to Inception program, which is focusing on the nitty-gritty of that. Like, we are talking about truly the bare bones, like established fundamental and foundational piece of the business. You can get to the fun stuff later, right? We know that it's going to be fun when you have your name and your website and your social media set up, and it's going to be fun when the money starts rolling in. But at the end of the day, you've got to take the time to understand what is the best business entity for you. Understanding the tax and legal implications that go into establishing a business. So it's thank you for saying that.
Absolutely.
She said it very eloquently.
I mean, thank you so much. So what would you say has been the most difficult part of getting Verb off the ground?
I'm going to tell the truth, right? We gave ourselves a 3-month runway, and in 3 days, just based on our goodbye notes, we were off and running with 3 clients. And we're like, great, this is amazing. And so we felt so good that what we didn't think about was like the biz dev part of that, client acquisition. Like, it was like, we're good, we're going along, we're good. And then it was like you blinked and it was like, wait a minute, where are the rest of our clients? Like, what's going on here? And that was a tough time, because we were so used to being, especially at our previous agency, business is coming to you. Here's the account that you were on. Now it's us of like, oh, we got to go get the account. We got to go do that. And so that was our first, I would say, like tough moment of like, oh, we have to rethink how we approach this. We can't wait on somebody else to save us. We got to save ourselves. We got to do this ourselves. The second hump was, of course, 2020. We were on our way for, going into spring of 2020, and we blinked and it was like, yeah, no, everything is getting canceled and everything is getting rolled back. And we weren't even in that first wave of cancellations. We were like, our clients were still like, no, we're moving, we're still going. And then it kind of like fiddled away, and then it was like, oh, we're not really doing anything. We had some really big things planned at that time. And it was tough, and we had to, cut salaries. We had to, downsize. We got rid of offices. We did all of this stuff. But because of what I was talking about, the operations piece, we were prepared. We had our business model, our financial models. We had 7 different models, from like the best of what could happen to the worst of what could happen.
Sounds like a business plan.
Sounds like a master class
like a business plan.
And that helped us, and that really helped us. And the next thing we know, we blinked, and Airbnb came with an idea and said, hey, we want to do something with Fresh Prince, and we were at the Fresh Prince house, and next thing I know, 2020 was like back on and better than ever before, and we were able to really ride it out based off of being prepared. And we had to make some really tough decisions, but I would say those were the 2 toughest learnings for us.
Got it. Okay. So tell us then, what are ways in which Verb has reset the standard and raised the bar?
I would like to say everything we do,
but everything, girl, you better say it. Everything.
I think we always say that for us, especially with agencies, every agency has a point of view, and so do we. Our point of view is it should feel as turnkey for any client that's working with us. Not only do you get this creative excellence that we bring, it's also operational excellence. It's project management excellence. And there hasn't been a client who's worked with us yet who's like, oh no, I don't know how to work with them. Every time they're like, y'all bring us and make us better. You bring us great ideas. You do things for us that we didn't even know that we needed. We didn't know we needed strategy. We didn't know we needed to have an influencer campaign. We didn't know this is how we need to show up in the world. We didn't know we need to be more sophisticated than we've been. So for us, it's really about, we have a high creative and operational excellence. How do we bring that to the client? And to me, I feel like that's what raises the bar. And when you work with us, you feel it, and you feel it almost immediately.
Right. So it's just like everything, every part of my business, or your business, I'm speaking for you, of my business, is where we make the client feel like they are raised automatically just by being connected.
Yeah.
I love that. And that's that experiential business model. And so when you're talking about that, what is it people need to think about when they're crafting their own strategy, really quickly?
What do they need to think about? How are you different? What is your value proposition? What are you giving to a client? So, some agencies will say we're the best creative in the world, and I think we have great creative. We have amazing creative. The difference maker is, how do you get there? Does the client feel like at the end of the day that process felt as turnkey as possible, and they want you back because they're like, yeah, that makes sense.
Master class right there.
Master class. I want some more.
Is everybody
time.
taking notes?
Send us your notes.
I want some more time. No, I want some more time, because I'm really digging this conversation. Like, you really are giving us some nuggets, and it's coming from a Black woman that has built herself from absolutely ground zero all the way up. So I just appreciate those nuggets that you've given us, Yadira. All right, so listen, we are going to go into the beauty and brains segment. LaToya, you want to talk to people about what that's about?
I definitely will. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for the beauties and brains segment, me and Faustina will be hosting that part of the radio show. And for any woman that is absolutely killing it in the game, y'all need to visit our website and submit your business. We want to shout you out. We want to recognize you, put a spotlight on you so that people know about you. So you can visit us at www.blackwomenswallstreet.org/the boardroom, and you'll see a section where you can actually submit your business. So we cannot wait to hear from you guys.
We're so excited.
I know, we're so excited, man. We can't wait for you ladies to be able to be represented. And, we're just excited. And I'm so excited to sit here with Miss Yadira Yadira, and put your business in there. Look, she already on here, but put your business in there, Miss Yadira. But seriously, y'all, we really want to hear from you guys. We want to shed some light on you. We want to promote you and just, be a part of the boardroom. Come and have a seat at this table now.
Yes,
Come on now.
absolutely.
Yes.
All right, so listen, you are with the Boardroom with Black Women's Wall Street, Inc., and we are just so appreciative. Again, thank you so much, Yadira. Really quick, can you tell people how they can get in contact with you?
The best way is on LinkedIn, Yadira Harrison, or on Instagram at BecauseYadi. And if you want to get in contact with Verb, we are a referral-only business. So if you find us, we can talk.
All right, we found it. So we gonna talk. We gonna talk.
Yeah. One last thing. What's coming up for Verb?
Oh, a lot. We have projects with Airbnb. We just wrapped up a Pride campaign for FX. It's a lot we're doing.
Just stay tuned,
festival.
right?
It's a lot.
Just stay tuned.
Going on.
Because Yadi.
Yes,
Hit her up.
All right, so just as you've heard, we have been here. We've had a really wonderful time with Yadira Noel Harrison. Thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you dropping those nuggets and listening in.